Alright, everyone, it is I, VRChat Star Valentine. And today, are you ready, everyone? Is the only question I'm gonna ask, because after, lots of months of getting sidetracked with other shit, repeatedly, failing to meet deadlines because of lots of shit other people requested of me, and the fact that I had to literally, put their needs before my own in terms of Abby's, in terms of tech stuff and all that. Uh, we are officially finally here. It is official this time. We are good as golden, and that is, of course, we are pretty much a-okay to reveal none other than the great, the awesome, the amazing. Oh well, good night, quiet. Nocturne. God Revenger, Nocturne to be exact. The sequel to my previous main Avi, um, the Garrunner Redline, which though was not officially my main Avi, it kind of became my main Avi due to the whole Ripper Store thing going on. When the whole Ripper Store crisis was happening, I pretty much abandoned Rendos due to the fact that many of the public windows were being taken down, and I do not know why my PC is scuffing up a storm right now. I do not know what the fuck's up with Vixen. She's just an old girl. That's the main thing that's going on right now. But yeah. Um but yeah, as I was saying, so yeah. Redline officially became my main Avi. Due to that. And so yeah, she was used. It was used from about July until like about September when I started getting all those other Abbies from various sources. Uh and just cobbling them together and just using them. I also got another God Revenger, an EX, during that time. Used that for a little while, and then just recently, today, switched over to Nocturne officially. God Revenger Nocturne is my newest Avi, and will pretty much be my main stream Avi from here on out. That will pretty much be my main VTuber model from here on out. Will be this. I might do something in the future. I might modify a bit as I get, an actual like Blender copy and maybe a better PC and a bunch of other shit. But yeah, for now this is my main Avi, and I am really proud to show it off. It's quite something. And yeah, for now it is just a simple recolor, but it's all right. Too bad I couldn't alter the eyes though. Uh, well, I could, but the file is quite fucking big for the face, unfortunately. Yeah, that sucks. But But now onto the world itself, with the re-debut shit out of the way. The world itself is the amazing Superstar Daycare. This is by the same guy who poured over the other FNAF security breach maps, like the Atrium, Underground Pizzeria, Ruin Entrance, all those. And they're all really excellent maps, really excellent ports. I mean, as you're about to see, there are some detail, like major reductions in detail compared to a lot of other maps, unfortunately, just simply due to the fact that the Daycare is by far one of the hardest places to port out of security breach. Mainly because of the ball pit. The ball pit, a lot of ports of security breach have issues due to the ball pit. like major optimization issues and all that. But this one doesn't seem to have any of those issues. It seems to run just fine. Um, you'll see why here in a minute. But overall, really good port. Aside from obvious graphical issues like here and here, which I did talk about in previous videos as to why that is. It's an issue with the Unity to Unreal, or rather Unreal to Unity porting process. It just has just major technical hurdles and major tech issues that they just cannot solve yet. And that will just have to be faced head on until their porting methods get better. Oh my god. Who's wearing a bunny suit? For those of you who don't know who Evan Wolf is, he's my French VR. Well, he's something, but he's French, and and I like him. He's a cool guy, but a really annoying pain in the ass sometimes, and knows exactly when I'm gonna stream before sending tons of requests to join me. Oh yeah, and he barely speaks any English. Like he is all French. Like his English is basically non-existent. But he is one of Springtrap's friends, so I do have to tolerate him. And plus, he is a cool guy, even if we don't speak the same language or understand each other for the most part. It would help to be able to understand him, to be honest. But yeah, I feel like I've done enough introducing this world and all of its quirks and various other aspects, including the fact that the pouring process is not perfect. So yeah, I feel that we should just get into this. Let's actually do this here. Now, graphics aesthetic wise, I know I said this for every single FNAF Secure Breach world, but like that is Secure Breach's high point, is the fact that its environments are so good looking and so detailed. And why is Vixen doing this weird shit? Come on, Vixie, you could do it. Come on, old girl, you got this. But yeah, but yeah, I know I do rave about the way that the environments look, but they are just very good looking. Like, say what you want about the gameplay, but Secure Breach looks very fucking good. Like, it is just a beautiful, beautiful, like, each environment is beautifully crafted. Superstar Daycare is no exception. Like, not only does it contain or continue the aesthetic of the original place, but also managed to represent I don't know, daycare-esque, child-friendly aesthetic, with much softer colors, or rather much brighter colors, much softer floors, much softer, everything else, and just to look really, really stylish while doing it. A very stylish daycare, I guess I could say this is. Now, one thing that is not as impressive, however, is the Unity Ports ball pit. In order to make sure that this could run on VRChat at all, they had to cut down a lot of shit. Like, they had to basically have the polys and then quarter them and then subdivide them over and over again, or rather, I guess reverse subdivide them? I don't know. Until they were just, this blobby shit here, not actual balls. And the reason for this is that the original balls, they caused too many issues for people. Like, some people's systems just couldn't handle it. Some people's PCs freaked out when they saw it, like the original balls. Like, it just didn't port over well for whatever reason. So, yeah, that's why they had to cut it down. But otherwise, aside from, graphical issues that I did talk about earlier, like the artifacting on some of the slides, which they cannot do anything about. That is just the way it's ported. Everything else is perfectly done. Like everything else does look pretty nice and very well done and just fantastic. At least for a Unity port of Security Breach map. And I know I am dropping frames a lot. I do not know why Vixen doesn't like certain worlds, and yet is so cool with others. Just doesn't make sense. Vixen's an old, quirky, very weird computer like that, with just tons of weird quirks and gimmicks. What more can I say? Um, but yeah, where do we begin? Hmm. Oh yeah, let's begin with the main part here. As you can see, the main part has matted floors that are made of the soft pad cushioning that you'd usually see in a daycare like this. Does kind of remind me of a McDonald's, of those old McDonald's play palaces that they used to have back in the day, even up until like the late 2000s, I want to say. I have been in them several times. They were alright. Vixen's just having lots of scuff right now. I do not know what's up with her. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, they do remind me of like McDonald's Play Palace almost. Very soft, very cushy, very nice, I guess you could say. And the same goes for the large jungle gym here, and just the large play structures overall. Many of which are also constructed of steel beams and are very well reinforced and seem very safe, except for things like this. Yeah, I'm not so fucking sure whose idea it was to put the generators inside of the play palace, but yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna question it. But seriously, why would they put it inside of, of the main jungle gym? Like, why would they put all the generators inside there? Just does not make sense. Um, Especially when you consider that kids will be traversing through this area and will be coming through these structures, and they could, potentially accidentally touch the generators and scald themselves. Just not a very safe decision. It's just not a good design choice. It just doesn't make sense from a safety perspective. It doesn't make sense from any of those perspectives. It really just goes to show just how little Fazbear Entertainment learned from their mistakes, because like they were repeating all the same shit that got them shut down over again. Just laziness, lack of proper safety precautions, lack of literally anything else, just all sorts, just all the same mistakes, just in a different package. And I will admit this part right here is pretty creative, at least. I also do like, the addition of viewing windows on the outsides of each of the tubes between different parts of the structure. That's also pretty nicely done. Ah, there's the new grounds queen. Among being queen of to infinity and your mom. Sorry, I had to. I don't get to say that very often anymore. I should use my catchphrase more, shouldn't I? Or find more ways to use it, I guess. But other than those, the huge, obvious safety concerns, as well as the fact that there are also these tunnels that kids could just drop out of and hit their head. Again, very lax safety measures. Other than those lax safety measures, I think that this is a very good looking area here. And it is very, very well done and very realistic according to what an actual fast food play area will look like back in the 90s to 2000s. Or I think it was like the 70s to 2000s that they were around, but still. I have immense nostalgia for them. I really do. Restaurants are not made like they used to be. And then there's also this little area back here, which by the way, is used as the main area in Secure Breach Ruin. And I believe it was one of the employees who set that up that way, and specifically to protect from either the mimic or from some other danger that is lurking deep in the piece of plexus. To be honest, I don't really consider the mimic canon, just because he breaks so much of the canon, and he just I don't know. I don't really like considering him like canon per se. So in the original game, Gregory we have to go through and activate each of these generators inside here, which, by the way, is the entire reason they're here, is just for gameplay. Like, it's not about realism, it's about gameplay. Though, to be honest, I would have much rather them had, some kind of emergency terminals up there or something instead of generators, just because, again, it just, I don't know, shit like that just really irks me. It could just be my OCD, but it really does irk me when unrealistic shit like that is in games. Like, that just really just irks me. And I know that shouldn't, because again, that is like an element of a lot of games, but it really does. And it's just a little complaint I have. But yeah. Wonder why they had this up here. But yeah, this is a control desk. Not as fancy as the control desk or control room in Rockstar Row, but it's a nice little area where, human staff would sit behind the desks and monitor everything. And of course, also have this. Or rather, it's also handle security measures and all that. There are little computers, which I believe are, as I said before, based on Dell Vostros, but with the Helpy and Fazbear logos on them instead of the Dell logo. Because, Dell and or Skytech would have some words to say if they use the Dell logo. There's each of the characters. And then there's this thing. I'm not really sure what this is. Like, I know that it's been, like, repeated in several areas, but I'm not really sure what this is. Is this... But yeah, I'm not really sure what this is. Like, is this some kind of like a pass punching system, or what is this? And I do not know what the fuck Vixen was doing back there. That was really weird. Yeah. I think Comcast is trying to throttle me or something. Because they think it's nighttime, so they think no one's gonna be using the internet, which is just total bullshit that they would do that. That is just scummy as fuck. Come on, you know better, Comcast. Don't do this to me. But yeah, I've seen that in several areas. I don't think it is a pass system because, again, I have seen that up in the control system 2, or the control room 2. But no, it is not my internet, it is my PC. Yeah, it's... Yeah, this is entirely my PC's fault. God damn it. So yeah, it's just my PC having more of its usual issues and scuff because it's an old girl and just cannot run this map for some odd reason. That is just fantastic. I really need a new computer. This is getting ridiculous. Having to constantly apologize for tech issues because my PC just cannot handle certain maps. But as I said, I did see it in some other. So I don't know. Maybe it's like an emergency control system for the animatronics. Maybe it's to summon an animatronic in case something goes wrong, like a specialized security animatronic. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure what that is all about. But the point is, it's there, and yeah, I don't know. And yes, the doors are fully animated and do open up into the outside area, which aside from overlooking the some more of the superstar daycare and various parts inside, also has some tables at which you could eat, some trash cans, and a very nice shiny tile floor, which is actually quite reflective. There is also scenery and decor all along the walls, mainly meant to represent, the day and night cycle that would be in here if they were staying overnight, which I doubt that was very often. And there are also several rooms, such as Lucky Star's gift shop. There's also the theater, which we will check out in a minute, and several other parts of the establishment that are just, all around just cool and just very nice areas to go visit and generally have fun in. There are also Fizzy Faz machines where people could get, Fizzy Faz refills of any flavor they like, including Sodaroni, the classic orange, the classic, grape, all those. Which Sodaroni sounds like, actually, Sarah Dynamite did mention this once. Sodaroni sounds like the, if you remember the Sweet Life on Deck show, it sounds like that scene from Sweet Life on Deck, where they're having them taste like all those weird ass drinks and comment on the flavors. And yes, there is also the light palm trees from the atrium. That is also here as well. And yes, there's also a small Fazcade. Let's begin with the Fazcade since we're here. And also, I am not so sure why this was put here. I suppose it's just to symbolize whenever there's an area portal for the porters, or the guy who, ripped and poured this place. To make sure that everything, does not get all fucked up. That's my thought on it. I'm not so sure. But as you can see, generally speaking, this Fazcade is okay. Comcast is definitely throttling me. What the fuck? They do this. this is why I could never find a good time to stream. It's because if I do it too late, then Comcast will screw me over and start throttling me left and right and make it so that I could barely stream. And if I do it too early, then it will cut into some other things. Though in all honesty, I don't think it's Comcast. I think it's just my PC because it only does this with certain worlds, and this just happens to be one of them that it just has a lot of trouble with for some reason. Yeah, my PC just doesn't like this world for whatever reason. I don't know why. But yeah, aside from the cloud lights, which are just a thing specific to the Superstar Daycare, the inside of this Fastcade does look like your normal Fastcade, or like its bigger cousin, the main Fastcade, the central Fastcade. You got your games, though they are a lot more selective bunch that is specifically approved for the play care. Of course, wouldn't want any shooters in here. I mean, my God, this is a daycare, not a full-on arcade after all. Uh, you also got your typical fucking pool, air hockey, and whatever this is tables. You also got those claw games, except they don't have anything in them, unlike in the actual game, where I believe they do have some shit in them. Just not all that interesting, and I don't think you can interact with them in the game. I don't know. I haven't watched a playthrough in a long time. And, other various things like that. And yes, there is also Fazer Cash that you get here. So yeah, they do use their own Chuck E. Cheese-esque currency, pretty much. Similar to how Chuck E. Cheese uses their their Chucky tokens. I almost said Chucky Cash. My God. I am an idiot. The Lucky Stars. Not too much to write home about this one, except that, it's gift shop, and a really good gift shop at that. I mean, you have your own little balloons here, over here, specifically of Rule 34 Newgrounds Queen herself. Plushie of said queen. You also got a Chica plushie. Birthday balloons. You got pizza signs. You got your plushes of Sun and Moon themselves. And you got your glitter glue, which you could actually interact with, throw around, and have fun with. One criticism I will say, though, is that they could have done a lot better with the back room. Like, the back room is just very bare bones. It just doesn't feel like, an actual serious back room for a store that is supposed to be an actual, serious store serving, I don't know how many fucking children a day. Like, it just seems like they will just run out of supplies constantly if they are pushed hard enough, to be honest. Like, it just doesn't seem that finished at all. So, yeah, I don't really know Why they did it like that, I don't know. Maybe it's just another crunch they did as they tried to get the game out of the door as soon as possible and barely do any and they just didn't really detail it or really actually flesh it out as much as they should have, which is extremely unfortunate, especially when you consider that, again, this is supposed to be a store that serves hundreds of kids a day, you know? And they didn't do that. So, yeah. Yeah, just not very well thought out, just not very well fleshed out, and yeah, it's just not thought at all. But other than that, it's still pretty good. I wonder what happened with the elevator. Hopefully it will be fixed soon. All right, but first, so I have some major announcements to make. Number one, unfortunately, number one, Crimson will not be on over the next few weeks. Apparently, there's some shit going on, and he just cannot be here for whatever reason. Um, I think, from what I've heard, he's like doing some project for someone, or something like that. Like I'm not so certain who, but I do know that he is working on some shit as far as I've heard. But that is just one thing I've heard. Another say is like take a break to cool down, like something happened, and he's just like really worked up about something. But yeah, he will not be here over the next few weeks at all. Um, for another, the chocolate gelato Abby that I promised all the way back in July. Yeah, that will be coming soon, as well as the recreation of Redline. Myself. I know that Zero Four made the original Abby, but here's the thing. Because she still has the files to it, I can't modify it myself. I cannot put anything on it. I cannot put any of the Amy Rose Christmas dresses that I want to put on it. I can't really do any of that. So in other words, I have to edit out. I have to rebuild it myself and then edit on there. That's pretty much what I plan to do. Needless to say. So, yeah, you also have that to look forward to over the next few days. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for announcements. Oh, yeah, that and also, so I did find out more about what's going on with Springy and why he was acting like a dick on stream. Because that's usually not like him. Like, he is not usually an asshole, you know? Usually he's kind, usually he's sweet, usually I don't have to kick him from my streams. Um, so yeah, I went and I investigated. Apparently, it all has to do with a few people. It all has to do with that weird Shadow Kings guy. Name sounds like some kind of a emo edgelord. Um, which okay, I am myself, but come on. Well, I'm not really an emo edgelord, not that much anymore, but I mean, I do still call myself Broken Valentine. Like, you know, there is still a bit of emo goth in me. I will admit. In case anyone was like, what the fuck? You still call yourself Broken Valentine? Well, yeah. Yeah, because I have not fully escaped all that yet. Another is AJ, who is a racist, homophobic, just awful, awful person. Like, he has screamed the hard R at several of my friends. He has, said lots of other very horrible things too. Like, he has, in the past, he has said, like, just some really, just truly regrettable shit. Um, Things that I won't even say just because I just don't even have the stomach to even think about them anymore. Like, he once attacked my mechanic, Zerafora, and yelled at her to unmute. And there's a reason she is mute, and that is that her voice is really screwed up from a long past of throat cancer and a lot of other stuff like that. So yeah, um, him yelling to at her to unmute is just just all sorts of ableist and just wrong and just yeah, I can't even stomach being around the guy. I really do not know what the fuck Springy sees in that guy because like everyone else hates him. I hate him. Um, I hate him. Sarah Dynamite cannot stand him. Zerafora shudders at the memories of what he said to her. And yeah, I don't know what his deal is. Or rather, what Spring's deal is with, trying to defend this guy and trying to ride him so much. Like, he just simply isn't a good guy. You know? I don't know. It will forever be a mystery to me why Spring continues to support that asshole. Just will forever be a mystery. But here we have the front desk, um, where you would hand in your tickets and then go right into the right in here to the entry lobby. You would get your food, which includes popcorn, hot dogs, other stuff like that. And this is how you do a proper back room. You don't just slap a bunch of shit in a room haphazardly and just call it back room. No, you actually take time to plan it out. Like here you have the kitchen, and then in here you have, where the food would be stored. That's how you do it. That is how it's done. And quite masterfully at that. I mean, just look at these walls. They're just very well done, just very detailed, just incredible looking. And quite frankly, I think that the theater should have been turned into its own area. Like, I really do not think it should have been attached to the daycare, but that's just more a complaint about the way Steel Wool did than the Porter. Just Steel Wool just didn't really think that through, and I think they really should have thought that through. But that's neither here nor there. And also, as you can see, this room does have a fully working video player with a Cascada Megamix that I was listening to before I started this stream. I really like Cascada. What more can I say? Again, as I explained before, I'm still that emo side of me never quite left. 2000s emo hyperpop is still a big thing I listen to quite frequently. But now 2000s hardstyle is awesome. And here's the controls for the video player, which will also be the controls for the main projector. Which, again, they could have really separated the theater into its own thing. What the? But yeah, it doesn't mean that I don't like the theater itself. Like, the way it's done here is perfect for what it is. Very detailed, very well done. Also has this nice little road trip reference here. Has a stage where an animatronic can perform if that is needed. Say the projector isn't working or, something else happens. And also a little color puddle area. Or like, an area where people in the front row could just sit down and watch, with their friends, family, or whatever. And just watch the magic unfold. Watch the movie from there. Pretty sure these are meant to be like, are these lights? No, they're speakers. Ah, they're speakers. Again, really cool. Real cool, real well done. And here we have Captain Fox's Pirate Adventure coming soon. So it was a movie in production, and then because of the collapse of, of the collapse of the big, Pizzaplex and the final, supposedly final collapse of Fazbear Entertainment. It never got made, of course. And right up here is the Sun Moon area, which looks way different from the rest of the space. Like, it looks very dusty, dingy, not very well done. And has very ugly toys of Roxanne and Monty. That is very curious. Okay. So clearly this was like an area that was originally gonna be accessible to the player in the OG game, and then just was never accessible for some reason. Like maybe they just decided just keep the player down there. Though apparently you can still access it in the game in sub areas or subway shape or form. And what you find upon doing so is actually quite crazy. Or maybe this is just, a bad port of the engine, like just another porting issue that they just have to eventually iron out when they come to it. I don't know. I don't really know. But yeah. Um apparently apparently there are some pretty crazy secrets up here. For one thing, there's a little room in here that actually shows that if you do access it, it contains a small machine, it contains a bed, and it contains a lot of different drawings, a lot of very interesting stuff in there. Like apparently there's a lot of secrets, and it is heavily suggested by many people that the one who drew all that shit, who put that room together, is Gregory. Now that's a crazy fucking theory. Though I think it is correct, and for good reason. Um, or at least I do think that there is some credence to it, and for good reason. Number one, Gregory's home was never officially stated. Well, no one really knows where he was. His home was never shown or elaborated on in any of the ending full motion video cutscenes, which, yeah, they do use comic book style full motion video for the end scenes. And yeah, in all the FMVs, none of it was elaborated on. They never elaborated on where his home was or any of that. So yeah, yeah, the intro full motion video is just the ending full motion video is just never mentioned his true name or any of that. So or his true home or any of that. They just never mentioned that. And number two, a lot of Frey's dialogue towards him makes it seem like he isn't quite human. Like there's something different about him from other people. Number three, how would he have gotten into the Pizzaplex in the first place? Is a big question. Like, that's never answered. That's, it's just a whole big thing. It just doesn't really work out. And to be honest, I did like the original plot. And to be honest, the entire reason he exists is that they threw out the original plot. The original plot was gonna be having, Vanessa be the good guy and investigating like something up with one of the animatronics, and then it be revealed to be William Afton behind all this. And just lead to a bigger and bigger thing, like an underlying plan being unraveled, and just everything, and just her having to save animatronics one by one or destroy them, depending on depending on which she chooses. And honestly, yeah, or that's what I think the original storyline, based on like all the teasers we got very early on, like 2020 or something, said. But yeah, that was supposed to be the original storyline. And then they had to throw that out entirely because Scott Cawthon did some really bad shit and was forced out of the project. And yeah. Yeah, it was just the whole case of just because they make good games doesn't mean they're exactly good people, uh, sort of thing. And yeah, it was just a very, very bad situation all around. Uh, but kind of self-inflicted. I will say that much. Very much self-inflicted. Scott Cawthon did ruin his reputation through his own decisions. Um, and then they had to completely remake the storyline into the hodgepodge travesty it is now. Like that's what. But yeah, apparently it is actually Gregory who made all that, and it's just another thing that just really isn't all that great, and just well, it is interesting, but not all that great. But yeah, yeah. So what I think overall. Beginning with aesthetics, I could definitely say that I know I sound like a broken record whenever I say this, but aesthetics are the strong point of Secure Breach, and its related, RIP and port worlds to VRChat. They all look fantastic. They all look beautiful. They all just look incredible. And, most of them are pretty functional. Like, there is, plushies you could pick up. There's shit you could toggle. Like, just really, both very good looking and very functional. So those are two high points. Is level design's pretty good. Functionality's pretty alright. Now, as for the middle one, the optimization, the second big point, that's where this world falls short. I've always had weird issues trying to stream these worlds. Like, for whatever reason, Vixen just gives dropped frame and disconnect errors more often with these worlds than it does other worlds. And I think that's just entirely just an encoder issue. And it's just entirely something related to the fact that Vixen is just really just an old PC and just has all sorts of weird issues with shit. And yeah, that's pretty much what I think is going on here. But aside from that, aside from those little issues with Shuri the World itself, because again, old ass piece of shit. Um, the world itself is okay. I will at least put at maybe an 8.9 out of 10. I had more issues with this one than I thought I would, and it is extremely cut down just to make it, just able to fucking run on VRChat, period. But I will admit, it is a pretty okay for the most part world, and it's all right. It's all right. It's pretty good. Um, and I was also really happy to finally be able to debut Nocturne in a proper way. This is a moment that I have been waiting for a while. I know that it did occur on a very scuffed stream. I am very sorry for that. Um, yeah, yeah, my PC is not. It's way past its prime, and it's just gonna have more and more issues as it go along. Unfortunately, there's just no way to fix it properly, I guess. But yeah, hopefully, hopefully, it will be able to, be fixed up soon, and we could, like, actually have, longer streams again, and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at for now. So what will we be doing tomorrow? Tomorrow, probably nothing. I will probably not be streaming at all tomorrow. Next stream will probably be Friday. I got some shit to do tomorrow. I got some other things going on behind the scenes, as it said, that are not all that pleasant. So yeah, I will be pretty much off all tomorrow for most part. I will be on VRChat though, at least. If any of you guys want to stop by and say hello or any of that VRChat, just look around. Just look around, and I'll be ready. And I'll probably be there. But yeah. Anywho, I gotta get going. I can't see you forever. You better show drill. So thank you all for watching this wonderful stream here at Have War for us today, night, week, whatever. And I will see you all on Friday, most likely, for whatever we do, whatever we have planned there. I know it didn't exactly announce what it was, but I don't really have anything planned, so maybe more VRChat. Most likely more VRChat. So yeah, good day, everyone. Stay classy, everyone, and good night. And I will see you all on Friday for wherever I plan then. So yeah, good night, everyone.